Hello and welcome back to Diecast Chop Shop. I hope everyone's having a great day. Today's video is supposed to be on this yellow Jaguar E-Type that I have, but because I threw down the clear coat too soon after I put on the headlights, had some running issues, so I've decided to change this video into how to cut tops off of cars, how to cut patterns into vehicles, or however else you can apply this to your work. Here's the other example I'm going to show you today. It's a 1955 Chevy panel. I cut these flames into the roof not that long ago. It was fairly simple, only took a couple hours. I will walk you through how to do that as well. But for starters, here's the tool we're going to use. It's just a jeweler's saw. If you look it up on Amazon, that's where I bought this one. It's fairly simple to use. A couple adjustments on it. Here's the saw blades. They come with sizes 1/0, 2/0, 3/0, 4/0, and then a 1 and 2 on the end. And they're all just different sizes. The smaller ones are better for tight turns, angles, just very small areas. The larger ones are better for, your longer, straighter cuts. When you're putting this blade in the saw, make sure you have the teeth facing the correct direction. It's very easy to put it in upside down on accident. I've done it many times. Not a big deal. Just pull it out and flip it back over. For the Jaguar, I'm going to use a piece of masking tape to mark off my line that I need to cut down. For the side posts, I'm just going to be able to follow the body line. But using tape allows you to keep the line much straighter than if you were to use your marker. And you've made it to the fun part. So just feed the saw blade through one of the holes in the body. You're going to have to decide which one you want to start with. I recommend starting with the shorter ones and saving your longer cuts for last, but that's just the way I do it. You can see I started on the rear passenger pillar. And look how fast I cut through that. Didn't take me any time at all. Moving right on to the next side. I don't even have to reset my saw blade because of the way I set myself up here. And there you have it. Just like that, I made it through the second cut. Getting above the windshield was a little bit harder. The saw blade didn't want to start from inside the vehicle, so I had to pull it out and start my cut from the outside. Once I got a small groove started from the outside, I was able to fit the saw blade back through the window and keep moving the way I wanted to. There just wasn't enough room in there to get at the right angle to get the cut started. So you're going to have to finagle and work with it a little bit. And there you have it. The roof is off the Jaguar. All you got to do is remove your tape. You're going to have a few little burrs, and for your first few cars, your cuts might not be perfectly straight. Just take some files. You can clean it up, shape it a little bit, and get it looking perfect. Alright, so let's get started on the panel truck. Before I started this, I figured out what I wanted to draw, and I got it drawn on a piece of paper, and you can't see it, but up against the back of my paint booth is a template that I'm copying off of that I drew up beforehand. Moving forward a little bit, because you don't want to see all this boring stuff, just working on the last flame right here. Got my ultra fine Sharpie, works great on this cleaned metal body. Once you're happy with your design, it's time to move on to the next step. You're going to want to use a drill bit big enough for your saw blade to fit through. But the smaller the drill bit, the easier it is to get through the die cast. So if you want, you can start off with a small bit and then work your way up to a larger bit. I'm just using the largest bit I can here, while still fitting in my smallest design. And once again, you've made it to the fun part. I'm not going to show you cutting all these flames out, but here you can enjoy a couple minutes of me cutting a few of them out. Here I got to a point where I wasn't quite happy with a few of my designs. I believe there was something on the inside of the casting that was going to make it hard for me to cut through. So you can just use a little rubbing alcohol. It'll pull the Sharpie right off and you can redraw something new. And here's a couple more examples of some cars that I cut. On the Porsche, I cut the hood out and I cut the doors open. I drilled and put a small piece of metal in the door hinge so that it could open and close. And on this 83 Silverado, I cut the bed off of it. For this, I used a piece of tubing and a small metal wire to create a hinge. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.